Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. I appreciate you being here with me to log another entry in the travel journal. If this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Today we'll be scuba diving the Moon Shadow wreck off Cape Eleuthera. As I mentioned, this is the Moon Shadow sailboat wreck dive site here in Eleuthera, part of the southern Bahamas. I believe the sailboat was purposely scuttled to create an artificial reef. It's actually part of the cut and run larger dive site. That larger dive site includes obviously this Moon Shadow sailboat, but also an airplane and the remnants of an old anchor. I've heard a couple different stories about why it's named Cut and Run. One was in regard to the airplane ditching because of them running drugs and the police being involved. The other was in regard to the anchor chain in a similar story. I'm not sure. It's the Caribbean, so you never really know. I'm uncertain of the make or model of the sailboat. I'm going to guess that it's probably about 26 feet long. I'm going to split this dive video into two segments, and that's just because I shot a lot of video. Not sure why I shot so much, but again, it's really three parts to this dive site. I mentioned the sailboat, I mentioned the airplane, the chain, but then that chain is at the edge of a wall. So I did explore the wall a little bit. So first part here, we're going to focus on the sailboat, and then in part two, we'll look at the airplane wreck and the wall. This is the third dive of the day on day 3 and dive number 11 overall for this week-long liveaboard. The dive started at about 2:45 in the afternoon and lasted about 55 minutes. I recorded an average depth of 56 feet and a maximum depth of 81 feet. The sailboat here is probably right around 70 feet. As far as water temperature, my dive computer reported an average water temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Not bad for December in the Bahamas. I'm not sure how long this boat's been down here, but from the limited amount of growth, it doesn't look like a terribly long time. But it looks like the fish here are already starting to use it. What I'm guessing is a school of some little tiny fish. Can't quite make out what they are. There's a peek inside. We'll continue to make our way down the starboard side, headed aft to the cockpit, and then we'll take a look inside. Looks like a great deal of the inside has been stripped out, but still a few cabinets and things. I'm guessing 26 foot, maybe 28. What are your thoughts? I'm curious. Probably was a very nice boat at one point in time. Looks like we have a fairly small southern stingray on the move. They range in size from 3 to 4 feet, reaching a maximum of 5.5 feet, and are usually found in depths of water from 1 to 80 feet. Here we have a yellowhead jawfish. See the little fish coming out of the hole? This is the yellowhead jawfish, not to be confused with the yellow jawfish. This is the yellowhead jawfish. They range in size from 2 to 3 inches, reaching a maximum of 4 inches, and are most often found in depths of water from 10 to 60 feet. Note the hole the jawfish is coming in and out of. There's another hole just adjacent to it, and they will move back and forth. They will come out of one and back into the other. The distinctive features include the yellow front of the head to behind the eyes. Occasionally, the entire head is yellow. The body and fins are white to pale blue. These are quite exciting to find, and I usually don't see them, but I have a new prescription mask, so I'm able to find some of these smaller things now. I probably will do another video about my journey into prescription masks. I've had a couple different ones, but I'm very happy with my current mask. Anyway, these fish are terribly exciting, and you've probably seen a lot of pictures of them. What's most interesting is that the males will incubate the eggs in their mouth. This one doesn't have eggs in its mouth, so I'm not sure if it's a male or a female, but you'll see they'll have their mouth open and they're just full of these teeny tiny eggs. Here we have a flamingo tongue crawling across the sand. I usually see these on plants or rocks or coral. It's the first time I've ever seen one just crawling across the sand. The colors are actually part of a mantle tissue and not part of the shell. Of course, it wouldn't be the Bahamas if we didn't have a reef shark. And a reef shark swimming by a sunken sailboat. How cool is that? Of course, hanging out on the trapeze for our safety stop is always a good time, especially when the boat's not swinging and it's not the flying trapeze.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.